Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this Joy Toy figure, and it's a mech. This time it's Fear 2 Mecha Strike type, and there's the mech. There's the box of the mech. It's a 1/18 scale series from Battle of the Stars. Battle for the Stars. And side, and then on the back it shows a couple of pictures. So let's get into it. Alright, and here we have the mech outside of packaging, and I attached most of the accessories on him already. Most of the accessories are, well, the armor for the forearm, and then these thigh pieces, and the shin guards, and then let's see, over here there are a couple of pouches I need to attach, and then shoulder pads. I need to attach that on myself, and yeah, that's basically how he's supposed to look when he's all put together. Now there are some pieces left. There's a pouch right here, and then there's these flaps, which the one with the strap that's attached to that panel. It's supposed to go over the knee section, but I wasn't able to get it on properly, so I'm just gonna leave it out like that. And yeah, those are the pieces. And again, there's the mech. And here's the instruction that comes with the figure, and this thing is very simple. It doesn't really give you a whole lot of details as to how these things are supposed to be put on and all that, so you pretty much have to figure it out yourself. It tells you some of the where it's supposed to go, but not in detail, so yeah. And here's a look at the rifle that this figure comes with. It's a very sweet looking rifle. It has an attachment right here. I guess you could attach it. You could interchange it with this part right here. And the rail system is kind of neat. And then the magazine container is removable. And then the buttstock is actually you could extend out a little bit, but it's only held on with friction. So be careful with that. And yeah, it's really good looking weapon. And then here's a comparison with what a figure, the Joy Toy 1/18 figure would look like next to the mech. Now this mech does not come with the figure, so you'll have to purchase the figure yourself in order for you to have a pilot for this mech here. That's how big he is. Alright, so let's go over articulation first. Let's see, head is on a swivel joint. There are two hinges underneath it. Let me open this up first. So you open this up, you can see the neck section right here. There's a swivel joint over here, and then underneath there's a hinge joint, and then also base of the neck there's another hinge joint. Now these are only held on using friction, and there's no cap on the other side of it, so you could easily take this off if you so choose to. Just rotate it, and you can see there's that, just like that. So it's just basically a peg system. Then you just peg this piece back on. That goes for most of the joints with this figure. They are just held on using friction for the most part. And then here, this guy has a collar piece right here. You can lift this up, or let me see, readjust this collar piece a little bit, because I believe it's just a separate piece all by itself. So there you go, collar piece, and then you could pull this contraption back down to cover up his torso. Really nice. And then this piece up front, it's also removable. It's just held on with friction with two little pegs right here, and then there's the back of it. So you could either add that or you could remove that. It's up to you. And these two panels move. They're on hinges, so they move up front and back a little bit. And then let's see, you know what, let me lift this up. It's easier to show the articulation without it. And then as for the arms, this piece came out. You know what, let me take this off. It's easier for me to show the articulation. Alright, so as far as the shoulders, let's see, this piece can move a little, wiggle a little up front and back. I'm not sure why that is. That's just how it is. And then you can hear the ratcheting joints for the arm, for the shoulders, full 360 movement. And then outward, same thing. There's a ratcheting joint over here. It's a little tighter. so full range. And then bicep section down here. Oh, these piston does not work. It gives you the rotation right here. And then for the arm, and from the arm section, if you remove this gauntlet right here, there's a hinge right there, and also on a ratcheting joint system. And then here, this is really loose on mine. There's a swivel joint around the wrist, and then down here, there's also a ball joint for the hand, for the wrist. Well, this not really a wrist. It's the forearm section, I guess. And then there's the wrist for the ball joint. And then fingers are all individually hinges. There are hinges for all the little fingers too. And down here with the thumb, there's a ball joint and there's a hinge for the individual fingers. So yeah, fully posable when it comes to this figure. Oh, and then underneath, let's see, down here, same thing, same as the shoulder joint. It's all ratcheting, but not as strong. You can hear, kinda. And then it also has, it's basically the exact same joint as this. And then as for the knees, let's see, there are two joints right here. One right here, a hinge joint, and then down here there's another hinge joint. So so it gives you that chicken leg look. And then ankle, there is a ratcheting joint here as well for front and back, and then it pivots left and right, and then there's also toes articulation. Right here I got the mech down at a kneeling pose, and one thing I don't like about this figure is the shoulder pad. The shoulder pads, let's see, let me see what you can see right here. See those two circular shape and then that other shape in the middle? That's what's holding the shoulder pad in place. That's it. And then it's supposed to slot in this place right here. First of all, why not make it so this extends out a little more? Because this piece is very shallow, and for it to go in there, it's a very tight fit. And once you start moving the arm, this shoulder pad is gonna come right off. So look at on this side, it fell right off. So you have to pretty much readjust it every time you move the arm, because you're gonna put your hand on this when you're moving the arm, and then which breaks this piece right off from this slot right here. So you gotta reattach it every time, and then you have the straps going on. It's just a pain in the butt. So since I got him down in the kneeling pose, you can see how far his legs could reach. Actually, the range of motion is quite high. You can see it's almost it's actually past a 90-degree knee bend, and then as for the hips, it's going way past 90 degrees up. So yeah, quite good as far as the range of motion. Alright, so I got him standing back up, and just to show you guys, and it's good to get a base for it, because this figure does not come with a base. So let's see if we could get a detailed look at this mech here before we open up the back panel. The weathering is really nice, I like that. And there's a little symbol, it's Chinese character on the shoulder pad, and there's an insignia right there, a skull with wings. And I love the head sculpt, the head design, and the paint job. It's got a skull on it, really nice. Then as for the arms, straps are everywhere. Oh, I didn't even attach that clip yet. But yeah, they tend to go everywhere. So you're gonna have to find some ways of hiding them. Overall, you don't really need a base for him to stand properly, but it is good to have one just in case, because those toes articulation are a bit looser than I wanted them to be. Everything else is ratcheting joints, so it's gonna stay in those poses, but the toes articulation is what concerns me, because he might just topple over if you aren't careful. And here's a look at the back of the mech here, and all the pouches are removable. This whole thing with all the pouches around the waist is all pretty much a belt with velcros attached to it, so yeah, you can easily just remove everything. Even the mech can be taken apart, and the backpack can be taken off as well, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, there's a good look at it. So in order to open up this panel, open up the back panel, there's a little notch, let's see, somewhere down here. This little slit right here is catching the edge of this panel, so that's where the opening is. So once you pull that part back, then, oh my god, it's not focusing. Okay, let me do manual focus, and there we go. And then you could open this panel up, and here is where the pilot is housed. Back here, and there's his, I guess, screen panel for him to look at when he's piloting. And I think he's supposed to slot through here. So here you can kind of see the chair, or not really a chair, but standing position. And then that piece right here, this control the mech, I guess, is not movable. You can't get it out of the way when you put the figure in. And yeah, you just close it back up, and there, that's that. So let me put a figure in and see how it looks. So here I put a pilot in here. It's best to have a person that has no outer armor on him, because it's a tight fit. Even right now, it's a really tight fit. So if you have a character that has armor on, yeah, it's best to remove them. Mostly remove all of them. I would suggest removing all of them, because these knee pads and thigh section, the forearm and the shoulders, and even the chest vest, they're all removable with these figures. So it's best to remove them before you put the pilot in. And because again, it is a very, very tight fit for this character here. Once you have it like that, alright, so once you have them in here, then yeah, make sure the arms are in like this, otherwise it won't close. And then so there, right there, and then you just need to pop that piece back on, and there you go, your guy's inside. So he's now the operator of this mech. And again, if you want to remove it, just flip that piece back up, slide him back out, and again, it's a super, super tight fit. Look at, can't even get him out now. Let's see. Don't want to break you, but oh man, this is a tight fit. Yeah, they seriously, they should have done something with this piece here. The control panels here, these control sticks, they should have it be removable or sliding up and down or something, some sort of movement to get it out of the way when you put the figure in, because it's a really, really tight fit. Okay, here I got him holding on to the weapon. It looks quite nice, but it is a pain to get him to hold a weapon, because you have to slot through these fingers, and I gotta move him. So yeah, I would have to say, with this figure, it does cause frustration when you're messing with it, because there's just so many things that could come off of him. Shoulder pads, the pouches, everything. I mean, you just gotta be super careful with it, and you're just gonna have patience when you're messing with this one. Be cautious that a lot of pieces are in the way. And oh, one more thing. Back panel down here, you gotta be super careful with it. This one is panels move up and down, so when you're moving the leg, maybe when you're moving his lower legs, make sure you are not grabbing this piece when you're moving it, because it's only being held on by this little hinge down here. So yeah, that little piece down there. So be careful when you're messing with it. So here, one more look before I end this video. And yeah, this figure again is a pain in the ass to mess with, but once you have it in a good pose, he's gonna look great. He looks fantastic, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass to work with, because with a lot of stuff going on, so you just gotta know where to grab when you're moving, stuff like that. So yeah, so there you go. There's the Joy Toy, whatever this thing is called again, the Mech, the Fear 2 Mecha. Yeah, thanks for watching.